Just fucking do it. Subscribe now. And I'm not the worst story out there, but I'm certainly got a better story than the fucking vice president running with Trump. We've gotten soft. The famous psychiatrist Viktor Frankl, who went through the Holocaust, life is never made unbearable by circumstances, only by lack of meaning and purpose. The only good words my dad ever told me was, Dan, it's not what they say about you, it's how you interpret. You're bald, you're skinny, you're old. It's how, and I always put a positive spin on anything that happened to me growing up, from about 4, 5, or 6 till today. Because I've done a lot of ugly shit. I've had a lot of ugly shit done to me, but I put a positive spin on it. And now, sensitivities and everybody's fragile. It's a hate crime for me to call that guy bald in Scotland. It's a hate crime. I go to jail. For a couple of you that are tubs of shit, for me to call you a tub of shit is a hate crime in Scotland. That's where we are. And that makes it more easy for us. Because these sellers, as far-fetched as it sounds, they want you to like them more than you want them to like you. It's like an ugly girl that wants you to fuck her, but she doesn't tell you, I'm a virgin, please fuck me. Even though I'm ugly and fat. Now, looking at this group, you're the other opposite. I'm ugly, white, or wet, and I haven't got my willy wet enough. And that's why the program works better, and better, and better. You don't make moral choices by the outcomes you expect. You make them because the choice is the correct one. If you have consulted others reference this choice, that speaks volumes. For those of you that had to get permission to come here, you're going to have it harder. Everybody understand that? If you had to have some kind of moral permission to come here, you're farther down the fucking rabbit hole than, 2 or 3 of you made the decision as soon as you heard about me, you made it in seconds or microseconds or minutes or whatever. That means you're more in charge of your life. Do you understand that? But you're not raised to make those choices now. You're raised to consensus management is killing the world. Elon Musk thinks that woke and political correctness is killing the world, and he's got a 19 or 20-year-old son that's now a girl. But it's consensus management. It's meetings. When I got out of university, finally, after flunking out 3 times, when I learned it in the military. I mean, normally, the more meetings you had, the more fucked up the plan was. Well, you're not going to have that joy to be able to blame it on a meeting. In the beginning, you're only going to be able to take responsibility for yourself, full responsibility. Accountability. Nobody's going to fuck this up but you. Believe me. You're the only person in the beginning because there's only is you. Nobody else is going to be able to fuck it up other than you. Now, I've never heard a high-performance person use either one of these sentences. Are you okay? I'm working on it. What does that mean? It means you don't have the balls to make a decision? I told Sally every time we hear it in the movies, I think Sally has asked me one time if I was okay. In the decades. One time. And she's never heard me, how you want to make a change in life, I'm working on it. And that's all the kids can say now. First of all, I don't give a fuck if you're okay. I only give a fuck of the results. And if Gabriel, after firing his chairman, hadn't got a reasonable replacement, he would have been gone by now. It's like Joan of Arc, who, a saint, who at 14 fought the English. She was French, if I remember correctly, and she fought the English with a crucifix, a cross. Now, if any part of that story is true, fuck. How's that possible? Not just our Indian friend. That's a real picture. And it's not the most baggage I've ever seen on an Indian bicycle. I've seen more. We paid our dues. We lived in Asia 13 years. And if there is a purgatory before heaven, we served our fucking time. We served 13 years in Asia with the fucking bloody Asians. China, South Korea, India. I don't like to consider them Asians, but they're kind of half-ass Asians. The Philippines, Kuala Lumpur. When they say yes, they mean no. If they say no, they mean yes. Or if they go like this, it means neither. Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, and Jack Welch said, because two of those three are dead, the smartest human beings on the planet come from southern India. So where do we go? Bangalore. None of those fuckers are stupid, but I mean the smartest guys. They came up with more ideas to take money from us than we had some rocket scientists. And when you're trying to buy a business, just because the bank account says such and such, that doesn't mean anything. Normally you see, what's the name of the bank? ICICI or, and you have a bank statement. Most of you wouldn't go to check if it was real. If I send you a bank statement from that bank online, you probably wouldn't double or triple check it. I go to the fucking bank and I talk to the bank president and I want him to pull it up on his goddamn computer because I don't believe it. And they're just waiting for you out there like cockroaches. They eat your eyeballs out. But it's my task to get rid of that this week. Could be Vietnamese, but it isn't. That's Indian. I got great stories about Vietnam, too. We all know you're afraid to fail. So don't bullshit me. Okay? To the extent that you talk to people about coming here, they're all going to say you're a moron. After 6 months and you haven't done a deal, what the fuck's wrong with you? What'd you give that old psychopath that money for? A year you haven't done a deal? And your mother says, get a job. A year and a half, well, your wife's already left you. Don't worry about that. Your wife won't be there anymore. What's up? I was talking about this before we came to dinner last night. And I told you Sally makes me go to dinner. And everybody always assumes that, I'm going to be successful at something. Didn't used to be that way from my dunce cap days, but we went back and we're helping the school, Reseda High School that I went to, which is now a charter school for geniuses, which I can't laugh more. And the principal told me, and Sally, they have a desk, the principal's desk. It's got a crack in the glass. I put that crack there in 1962. Same fucking desk. When I was trying to allegedly attack the principal. I slammed my fist as I'm crawling over. Supposedly. I deny all that shit. I'm crawling over the desk, and she says to me, to Mrs. Peña, my wife, Mrs. Peña, we didn't know how to treat, handle, or deal with gifted children in those days. So I've gone from a dunce cap, so now they tell me I was gifted, and they didn't know how to treat me. Wouldn't it have been nice for them to figure out that I was gifted back when they were putting a dunce cap on me? I may sue them for $10 trillion. I will own the school districts in Southern California because I went to school in 2 or 3 of them. We are, in 1969, there was a book called I'm Okay, You're Okay. And in my judgment, that was the beginning of political correctness and the downfall of humanity. It was written by a psychiatrist from Columbia University, as I recall, a guy named Stein, that basically said, anything you want to do is okay with me, and anything I do, and as long as we don't step on our feet too much or get in our faces, whatever you do is acceptable. The last couple of years, these 2 books have been written. One's called Never Enough, and one's called Never Enough. And the one that's called Never Enough, that's written by a Navy SEAL, is that you can never do enough. You never leave a guy in the battlefield. Blah, blah, blah. The other, Never Enough, is that society, no matter how good you are, how successful you are, it's never enough. So now the kids don't want to be like, they burn the American flag, they burn the British flag, they burn all, The same title, obviously different objectives. I'm from the Never Enough, from the patriotic side. And the other book is Never Enough is being detrimental if you, because people are asking you to do too much. They're asking you too many stretch goals. They're asking you goals that are beyond the frame. They're asking you goals that are a bridge too far. When commercial real estate goes down the toilet, and it will, because the banks can only prop up the economy so much, so far. The country, the world's in trouble. And your little 401k plans, they sell 401k plans? Okay. Your little 401k are going south. And your little real estate portfolio of 4plexes is going to be wiped out. And it's brothers chasing brothers for milk down the street. Now, I won't live that long. I didn't think I'd live this long, but I would have taken better care of myself. But I mean, and it's going to happen. And the best ones that are going to be able to deal with these problems are the hoods, the barrios, because they're closer to that lifestyle now. Sally, I told her just a few days ago when our daughter was here, that 50 cal that we have locked up, you're going to have to learn how to use from the turrets to shoot them down like dogs. When I moved here, I had 115 weapons or something like that to kill vermin. I said, vermin are like rats and shit like that. Well, 50 cal is a pretty big weapon to kill a rat. And then, this was 1984. No, it'll blow you in half. So the other 2 police officers that was with him thought that was funny. He didn't think, he's since retired long, he's dead now. But most of you are ill prepared. Now, I'm not telling you to go and take a martial arts class. That ain't going to do you any fucking good. If you're in a place to carry guns, I'd get at least 3. And then it's even going to be better for QLA. This is about a year ago. And the nun, the second to my left, who's the special nun, and I started supporting all her affiliate programs about 20 years ago. And there's Sally and I giving us stuff. And we have about 200 priests and nuns pray for us daily. And there she is, Sister Luce. And she's crying, and she says, will it ever get better? And I'm telling her no. And there she is, 25 years before with the Pope, and there she is last year with the Pope. I knew she was a winner when I first met her. And I have the Pope's ear through her. I'm covering all bases. Just in case it's true. I don't recommend you cover any basis. But that's why almost all rich people towards the ends of their life try to do good. Not because their personality's changed, believe me. Just in case. In India, there's 10,000 gods. Just in case there's only one fucker. So I'm giving money to name schools after me, all this shit. When I was this man's age, I'm never going to do that. And here I am, 30 years later. Bless me, Father, if I have sinned. Here's 10 million. She's called a power nun. And then the Greek Orthodox Church loves me too. We're going to talk about the SBA loans. Fuck by woke. Snowflakes. We talked about that already. Okay, Goldman Sachs. We're not going to talk about that. Now, okay. This is an interesting question I was asked, because when I travel around, I see you kids before you come to the seminar, and so it speaks for itself. You want to know why I meet free and I give all the shit free away, because I want to take the last excuse. Now you've come to the seminar. The last excuse you have for not coming to the seminar because it's too expensive, I give you everything free the last 20 years. My book is online, free. It's the best bang for your buck to read. Over 1,300,000 people have downloaded it. Because I don't want you to be able to use an excuse. Now that you've been here, you've even got less excuse that why you don't do it. But some of you will make that decision. About a year ago, when did that Indian lady doctor get up and leave? Year and a half ago? She was sitting right there. Indian, okay. And she got up and left. I was beyond the pale for her. Well-educated, nice gal. I don't know which one of the 10,000 gods I offended the most, or maybe I offended them all. You know. Okay. Now, after reading your shit, we're going to move things a little, and we're going to let you see the pig fucker. Now, maybe a little early. Not because I think that you're in that elk. I chuckle a little bit. But I know you'd like to do a deal in 26 days. Everybody wants to do a deal in 26 days. Not everybody, but almost everybody. And but this is how. Thank you.